Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Just got out of seeing John Wick Chapter 4, which is, I forget if it's written by him or not, but I'm going to presume that it is. Written and directed by Chad Stalansky, who has directed pretty much, yeah, all four of the John Wick films. The first one was he co-directed with David Lynch, who went on to do other things like Deadpool and Fast and Furious, I think. Um, and As it being the fourth chapter, we follow up where Chapter 3 leaves things with John Wick. John Wick still on the run, of course, played by Keanu Reeves, and he is now taking it to the man. Basically, he's taking it to the higher ups, the big bosses of the underground world. One of them played by Bill Skarsgård, and he meets some old faces, some new faces from some new faces that have mystery intentions, and then someone like Donnie Yen, who is a figure from his past. And ultimately, what the film is about the price for freedom and what one has to do to obtain it. Um, and within that, I feel that it might be a little bit of a spoiler. So sorry if that kind of kind of gave away some ideas of what the film uh, might be. Um, but I am gonna tiptoe around a few things, so I will be getting a little bit spoilery within my suggestions. So if you don't want to hear anything, I recommend that you tune out. Um, but to give you guys a yay or nay, I am pleasantly surprised in saying yay, because usually with getting deeper and deeper into franchises, you see um, a lot of lower returns, and John Wick is that outlier. I've found. I think all the films are fairly solid. I mean, the first one is a simple setup. A guy loses his dog, goes back into the underground world, finds the guy who kills his dog. Very simple. Second film is thrown back in, and then he breaks the rules. Third film, everyone's on the run trying to kill him. So, it's very simple premises throughout, and I think that what makes this film stand out the most out of the four is that it's still leaning on those simplicities and leaning on that kind of um, that hollowness, that entertaining like hollowness that it possesses, and trades it in for a little bit more depth and um, a little bit more developments. Because this is also a very long film; it's about 3 hours long, and that was a big fear of mine going into the film, it being a 3 hour film, and it thankfully earns it, because a lot of the time it's developing the characters and developing their intentions and developing um, you know their their um, their motivations for why they want to kill John Wick, or why they want to help John Wick, or why they might have issues with John Wick. Like, I like that they give them enough developments to where when we get to the climax, we actually feel everybody's agendas. It's not just about John Wick's, which was kind of the leading force through the other three films. We actually now have more perspectives at play, and thus a little bit more meat to the bone. So I very much appreciated that the runtime actually helps develop things versus kind of meandering. And it kind of does get to those points with its action sequences, which I must say are a little bit slower and a little bit I mean, they're still fun. I mean all those scenes, I mean most of them are really fun, especially when we get towards the climax. It gets very entertaining. um, but sometimes the choreography, especially within the first like 2 or 3 sequences, it's a little slow, and you can tell it's, well, choreographed. um, and it being John Wick, obviously it does get a little silly here and there. um, but that meandering and that that those like silly qualities and all that stuff, like, and like I said, like it likes to take its time in developing its characters. It all feels warranted, because once we reach that climax, everything actually falls into place, and it feels like everything that we had watched and we were digesting, um it wasn't packing. It was, now we're at the end. Now here's our reward, like I liked that feeling that I had at the end of it. It was like, okay, there's actually a rewarding factor with actually hearing all these developments and seeing all these perspectives and these intentions and motivations. It like it greatly expands the world of John Wick in ways that makes it more involving, and you know and less of a oh, okay, we have to just pack things in just you know to make it seem that we're having depth here. It actually does have merit to it, and it has echoes of Sergio Leone, which I love. Like, I was thinking of the good and the bad, the ugly at one point with this, like just the way that they're setting up these characters. There's like almost like a whistle of Vangelis, the composer of Blade Runner. There's like a little bit of that in there, and without spoiling anything, it's very definite. It's a film that definitely is a conclusive uh, a conclusive part of this story, um, and it it makes sense why they want to now change directions into a spin-off. It makes perfect sense that now why they would want to do such a thing, because it's a very definite ending, and um, and I like that. I like that they didn't try to just leave the door open. I like that they didn't just say that let's try to go for another chapter. I love that they just said that, look, let's just leave it while it's hot, and I like that. I really appreciate that for for this franchise, because it's a series that I have very much appreciated. I mean, bar this one, it's been a very simple journey. But now with this chapter, I think that why I admire it the most is because it has developments, it has motivations, and yeah, it does meander. Yeah, some of the sequences maybe are not as crazy as its predecessors, but it's more rewarding, it's more investing, more involving, and more weightful. It's weird to say that about John Wick, but it definitely has more weight felt, especially when we reach the climax. It feels like all the pieces are are earned and they have a place. Nothing feels like, oh, okay, like that's elements there, that elements there, whatever. Or I saw that coming. You like there are stakes, and you're engaged in that, So I thought it was fun, but I was pleasantly surprised by its its uh its uh its meaningfulness, because it does feel a little bit like previous entries, and to an extent with these action sequences, it does feel like it can be a little mindless and a little aimless. But I'm very surprised that with this chapter that they decided to go more meaty, and I think that it actually was greatly beneficial, and it, in my opinion, created the best of the John Wick films. I think that this is easily the best one because of that meat, because of its merit, because of the developments at play. It is a little lackluster in its action, and also the performances I never really bought. I just, I don't think Keanu Reeves is a great actor, but and just all the performances in general are a little iffy. But it's, I wouldn't say excusable, but it's, I can look past that because of what else it's offering. So it's a very good piece. I was very surprised by it, and I think that you guys should definitely check it out. And like I said, it's definitely a definite it makes a definite choice, and I very much appreciate that, because I don't believe in longevity. I believe in, like, create a plan and just know when it's hot, leave it at a certain point. And I'm glad that they left it at this point, because it's the best of the films, and if they were to end it at any point, this was definitely that point. and I'm glad that they knew that. So yeah, definitely check out John Wick Chapter 4. It was a very good time. Very good time. So, you guys, let me know your thoughts on John Wick Chapter 4. What do you guys think they're going to do with a spinoff? There were some chatter about it here or there. I'm not sure if I actually will see it because, I mean, I just don't really care for the other characters. Um, so, but you guys let me know your thoughts. Did you guys enjoy the film? Do you guys like the choices that they made at the end? Do you guys like the fact that now there is a conclusion? You guys know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope obviously you guys can probably tell based on what the language of this review what happens, but hopefully I didn't spoil it for you guys. I probably did, but I did warn you at the beginning. But definitely check it out though. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.